project was started, I think maybe how many years ago? Maybe 6 years ago, and then COVID came and like many voluntary groups, numbers just dropped off. And so what we've done is that we've rebooted the project, and the way that we've done that is by focusing on a keystone project. So just like there's keystone species, there's keystone projects or a beachhead, and so I'm going to talk about that once this starts working.
What did you do to it?
I broke it.
Gave it a beer.
Gave it a beer.
That's flashing in the front.
I have got a hard copy of the quiz if that's helpful.
Yeah. That's right.
Probably.
We'll do it after. Okay, anyway. It's weird. Okay, sweet. So, I've always wanted an excuse to show this picture. Does anyone know what this is?
Shit.
This is kererū poo. And just to summarise your talk, I think it can be summarised like this. Oh, this is not what's going on here. Are you doing this online rather than PowerPoint? Okay, very sorry. Some of the things may not work because is it in PowerPoint or is it on Google Slides?
It's
probably Google Slides. Okay, some people call kererū Gardens of the Sky. To summarise the talk, hopefully this is going to work. Done! That's all. That took me 5 minutes. So you know, like we were just saying, one of the things about the kererū that makes them important, the kererū, or as some people call them, tree rats, native tree rats, is like you said, there are the larger species, kererū, are the only ones that can eat them, and that there's a mutualistic relationship between kererū and the bush, particularly those large trees. And so, does anyone remember seeing flocks of kererū? Because I remember when I was a kid seeing flocks of kererū. And so, one of the things that confused the kids and families that did the bird count the other day was, why are we counting flocks rather than the number of birds? What matters is the flock size, not the number of birds. Partly because you might be counting the same birds, but actually flock numbers is a sign of the health of a species. And so one of our long-term goals is if we want to restore the bush in Oratia, we need to restore kererū flocks. And so one of the neighbours here, he gets sometimes 8 kererū in his tree, but one of the things that shocked me when we moved here is that we see almost no kererū in our property, and our property is right here, and it is representative of the foothills of the Waiatarua ranges. We've got the ranges, which has a lot of bush, then we have the foothills, and then we have the urban areas. And the key thing about our project is about connecting, because ecology is all about corridors, and you know, ecology is the strongest when there's strong connection, and obviously there's been a lot of devastation in our area around streams. Streams are no longer connected, so fish can't get up the passageways, but also the ecology in our area has been so decimated that there are very small fragments of the pūrere forest, which is W7, I think it was the most common type of ecology in the area, and which was the home of kererū. There are almost no areas left in the area, and it's critically endangered. It's actually one of the most endangered ecologies in Auckland, and the area that you're standing in right now used to be pūrere forest, and so we would have seen kaka and kererū in the area. So when we did the bird count the other day, the things that we noticed was, of the 168 birds we saw, we only counted 36, I probably got that wrong, 36 birds. So the main birds that you'll see in a pūrere forest are the first 3 and the last 1. But of all the birds that we counted, there was only 1 kererū, which is, that's really telling. So where you are in Piha, you're in the ranges or you're past the ranges, there are much higher numbers of kererū. There may be other people in Oratia here who see lots and lots of kererū. The foothills is different. So whilst kererū fly far, they often fly over the foothills if you see them at all. Because as you said, they fly quite far. So some people say to me, so but why is Oratia important? So the first thing is that ecology is about connections, but it's also about stepping back. And so we are located in the Northwest Wildlife Link. Is that still a forest and bird priority project? Sure it is. There you go. So basically, the theory is that we've got a huge biodiversity here, and we've got huge biodiversity on the islands, and we want to create a corridor. The Oratia catchment is in that area there, slightly unfortunate shape, and the Oratia Wildlife Project is focusing mainly on the lower Oratia catchment and the upper Oratia catchment, although the correct name is Waiatarua, which means the stream of slips. So anyone who's in Waiatarua who's going is this a new thing? It is not a new thing. There's been 700 years of slips in the area. It's just climate change is making them a lot worse. And so we've got three areas. We've got an urban area, which is Sunnyvale. We've got the lower Oratia catchment. We've got the upper Oratia catchment. As I said before, we've got the foothills here, and we've got the ranges here. But the thing that is important about connection is that you can see here is largely the ranges area, and this is the existing ecology that remains intact. And so there's probably about 50 different types here, but most of them are Cody and scrub areas. But what you'll notice is that this area here, anyone know what this is? Twin streams. Notice there's a gap. And so the role of ecological projects is that we can't do everything. We've got to prioritise areas that we work on, and corridors and landing pads. Well, landing pads is, there's spots that birds can go on, and we're building small fragments, but corridors are much better because if we can connect ecology, we significantly boost the ability of it to sustain itself. So you can see that there are three main corridor connections that we need in Oratia. One is the Oratia corridor connection. The second one is the Kodemu stream corridor connection, and there's also another one here, which is the Cochrane stream connection. So you could say we need to plan out all the streams. That is ideal, but the reality is we just can't do all that work. So we've got to prioritise. And so what we've done is that we're prioritising the first one. And so this is this area here. That's the Kodemu and that's the Cochrane. And so if we just zoom in here, so Parscross Road, this is the end of the Twin Streams project. This is the existing council area that's been mapped. I think this is a rare shrubland. There's, I think, 2-3 hectares of this left in Auckland, so it looks like rubbish when you see it, but that's because we've been trained to think of European forest. But this is largely shrub area. It goes from here to here, and that's pretty much it for all of Tamaki Makaurau. Had no idea that existed. When you go and look at it, it doesn't look like much, but it is very special. So we're very lucky that Rex Sunday has already planted out his property here, and the council has some property here, but unfortunately there's no fencing, so all the beasts have been nibbling away, and that's actually failing. And so all we need to do to connect this corridor, to connect 58 kilometres, how long is the Twin Streams? 28 kilometres? What's the...
More than that.
50, I can't remember what it is, but it's long, but we have a gap from the ranges of literally this area here, 200 metres. So all we need to do is to plan out that area. And so thanks to Waiatarua Link and a connection with Katie Bolton, that is going to be planted out all of next year. So there will be a tiny little bit of land that will significantly increase the biodiversity of the area because we're simply connecting ecology. So thank you, Anna Lee, who connected us up with it. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is the Kodemu Stream corridor connection. So that's the existing area. Now the reason why that exists is because of our wonderful previous eco warriors who made sure that when properties are subdivided over 4 hectares, esplanades must be given to the council. Now I know that pisses off a lot of private landowners, but it's the only way that we can get land back unless someone gifts the land. And I can tell you from experience it's very, very difficult to gift land. So subdividing, creating esplanades is the way that we can recreate corridors. So that is what's already existing. Thank you to Waiatarua Link, we will be connecting a third of that corridor next year. And then the remaining areas here, that area there will be connected once that property is subdivided, and the red unfortunately can't be subdivided. That little red piece there, that's the Oratia Bowling Club. Obviously what's happened is that in past planning days, they allowed buildings to be built within the 20-metre riparian area, which means it's never going to be possible to get that land, which means it's even more important the other side is planted. Thank you, Pam, who I think you were part of the planting project 15 years ago next door. Or was that Alana? So EcoMed has helped the Hares plant the area next door. That is the largest stand of kahikatea in Oratia, and it's only 400 or 500 square metres. So great work, team. But so again, thank you, Waiatarua Link. We're going to connect that up. So we're just going to dive into it. So this is the area again. So this is from Parscross Road to there. Now, my family own the largest piece of the land in here. We purposely bought it because it was a floodplain. Everyone else said, why would you buy a floodplain? We said, awesome ecology, let's sort that out. And so this area here is a planned Waitakere Ranges greenway, and a greenway is a planting corridor with a walking cycle path. And so we're focusing on that. I know before we've done this, I was talking about that, but this is the bit that I think is the most important. And so, thank you, Matukulink. There is going to be 1.5 hectares of planting. There's 14,000 trees, and we're specifically planting 4,000 for kererū. Because what we need is a landing pad within that corridor for kererū, because they fly large areas, but we need somewhere where they can land and then they can fly off to the areas. And urban areas are actually really important for kererū because there's less rats, muscelids and stuff, and so what we need is that landing pad and the corridor for them to go into Sunnyvale. So, thank you, Anne Lily. They called up and said, we've got $800,000 of funding. I said, $8,000 of funding? Yes. She said, no, 800. I said, 80,000, holy shit. But $800,000. And so, that sounds like an outrageous amount of money, but the removing weeds that have come down from the stream, just that area there is $400,000 worth of weeding. So there's 1.5 acres of giant bamboo, $40, and we'll be sponsoring the bowling club. Do you agree? Way. And then the rest is planting. So essentially, what we will have done is that we will have done the connection there. So that's the Oratia corridor connection, and we've done a third of the connection to Kodiama Stream. There's already bush here. There's already bush here. This is going to significantly improve the value of that area. Obviously, as you said, it will take time to get the kererū back, but the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. Okay, and that's the pathway. So at the moment we have, don't know where it's got to, Mark, but there was a greenway in Glen Eden that was going to go ahead, that isn't going ahead, and so we're looking for an alternative project to send that money. Has a decision been made where that money's been spent? No. Thank you to the local board. Our pathway is in the mix as a possible project, so which is awesome. But I also just want to shout out to the Oratia Bowling Club in Hares. They have the smallest piece of land, but you cannot have a connection unless you have every single metre. And so the bowling club is very supportive of this project. And so we've been doing work to protect the bush down there, which is what we've been up to. So I'll just talk about really quickly what we've done. So we've been doing stream cleaning. Don't know what's happening there. We've done, there's our friend right here. Thank you very much, Lauren, and the NZ Enviro team have come down and done weeding. So we'll be releasing native planting. This is our crew who did the bird watching. The reason why we're doing the bird watching is, one, it's fun, it's great for kids, but we have to set a baseline. If you want to measure the improvement of planting, you actually need to count what the flock numbers are before you start. So we've done that. So we're not disappointed that there was only one kererū. That's actually important because now we can measure how well the planting's doing. We removed a tree felled, flood fallen tree. Westpac and New Zealand Land Care have paid $10,000 for planting. So this area here is an area that previously stopped. We're getting into the native bush, and you can see this is rubbish. Look at that. I mean, that's just, you can also see there, yucca. There are 200 yuccas that have been planted there. So the priority is always, if there's an esplanade, we need to fence it. It shocked me to find out there is no legal requirement to fence an esplanade area. That's something that I learnt. But thanks to NZ Land Care Trust, Bridget, who's from this area, we got $10,000 to fence that. We also have fenced an area at the back of our property in front of Bodega. And so on 2nd of July, Te Kaurau Maki are going to be coming down and checking out the stream. This stream has one of the only populations of the rarest freshwater mussel in Aotearoa. Just this tiny little bit of stream here. So there's the Aucklandikai, which is a freshwater mussel. Don't eat them, they taste awful. And they're not protected, but there's very, very few of them. There's 2 in our stream, and that one is one of them, so they're going to come down and check. And so for my family in particular, this is all stolen land. This was the Hikurangi block that was stolen by the government. It's really important for us that they get their awa back, and so we've tried to give the land back, but it was incredibly difficult to do that. I think it was going to cost us $500,000 to give land back to the iwi, which was outrageous. In July, Westpac are going to come. Their executive team, chief executive and his 8 people around him are going to come and plant here. We're going to work them real hard, don't you worry. And we'll be talking to them about the shocking loan rates. Waiatarua Rise, which is across the road. Is anyone here from Waiatarua Rise here? I can't see everyone. So we're going to be finishing cleaning up the stream. So there is, someone's just cut down about 500 square metres of bamboo, and it's all washed into the stream, so we're going to clean that up. Don't do that, people, in a floodplain. In August, the first spade is going to go in, so we're going to be cutting out 1.2 hectares of rubbish. Actually, you can see here, see that there? And see that there? Those are the only 2 significant native trees left on our property. Everything else is willow, privet, poplar, bamboo. That's all bamboo there, so that's all coming. So you're all welcome to come. We will make sure that the iwi are the first ones to put that spade in because it's their whenua. This is the Constellations brands team. I think they make not Kalua, they make one of the drink companies, but they're going to be coming and planting another 4,000 trees for us in September, which is awesome. We call them the Pink Brigade. Yeah, so our goal is to not just connect the environment, but we also want to connect with the locals. And if we do that, we can bring back the kererū and lots of poo.